To become financially savvy, you'll need a lot of time and effort. It isn't something that happens overnight. Some people never save and live paycheck to paycheck their entire lives. Learning how to manage your money at a young age may not seem glamorous, but it will set you on the right track. However, if you believe you have enough time to get serious about your finances, you are mistaken. Even if you still feel young and invincible in your 30s, the frightening truth is that you are halfway to retirement. It's time to put your 20s financial folly behind you and master these top financial habits to become more frugal with your money. 1. Make an effort to stick to a budget. Most 20-somethings have experimented with the concept of a budget, used a budgeting app, and even read a few articles about the importance of budgeting. However, only a small percentage of people actually stick to their budgets, if they have one at all. When you reach the age of 30, it's time to stop budgeting on a whim and start allocating where every dollar you earn goes. This means that if you only want to spend $15 on coffee runs per week, you'll have to stop after your third latte. The goal of budgeting is to understand where your money goes so that you can make informed decisions. Keep in mind that $1 here and $1 there adds up in the long run. Spending money on shopping or fun trips is fine as long as it fits into your budget and doesn't detract from your savings goals. Knowing your spending habits will help you figure out where you can save money and how to increase your contributions to a retirement fund or money market account. Here's a bonus suggestion for creating and sticking to a budget. Keep track of everything you spend. Make a note of where and how much you spend, as well as the impact on your budget. This may necessitate keeping your receipts and double-checking everything with your bank account. Over time, you'll be able to eliminate all frivolous, spur-of-the-moment purchases and truly keep yourself in check. 2. You shouldn't spend your entire paycheck. The world's wealthiest people did not get to where they are today by spending their entire monthly paycheck. According to Thomas J. Stanley's book The Millionaire Next Door, many self-made millionaires spend their money modestly. The majority of self-made millionaires, according to Stanley's book, drove used cars and lived in average-priced housing. He also discovered that those who drove expensive cars and dressed in expensive clothing were in debt. The truth was that their extravagant lifestyles couldn't keep up with their income. Begin by living on 90% of your income while saving the remaining 10%. You will not miss that money if it is automatically deducted from your paycheck and deposited into a retirement savings account. Gradually increase the amount you save while gradually reducing the amount you live on. Ideally, you should be able to live on 60% to 80% of your income while saving and investing the remaining 20% to 40%. 3. Be honest with yourself about your financial objectives. What financial objectives do you have in mind? Take some time to think about them. Consider when you'd like to achieve your goals and how you'd like to do so. Make a list of your goals and figure out how to achieve them. If you don't write down your goals and make a concrete plan, you're less likely to achieve them. If you want a vacation in Italy, for example, stop daydreaming about it and start planning. Do some research to find out how much the vacation will cost, and then figure out how much you'll need to save each month. If you plan ahead and save properly, your dream vacation can become a reality in a year or two. The same is true for other lofty financial goals, such as debt repayment or a longer-term goal like home ownership. If you want to get into real estate, you must be serious and have a strategy. After all, it's one of the most significant investments you'll ever make, and it comes with a hefty price tag and a slew of additional considerations. When it comes to your finances, there are a lot of things to consider: down payment, financing, and your mortgage, how much you can afford, interest payments, and other expenses. 4. Become knowledgeable about your student loans. The fact that many millennials are confused about student loan repayment is an undeniable reality. According to a Citizens Bank study from 2016, more than half of borrowers don't fully understand how student loans work, making the road to debt relief seem improbable. 6 out of 10 millennials said they underestimated monthly payments, and 44% of all borrowers haven't paid since the pandemic began in March 2020. Rates have been historically low since the recession, easing some of the pressure from crushing student loan debt. Nonetheless, maintaining vigilance in monitoring the amount of interest that will compound on your loan should be a top priority. 5. Analyze your debt situation. When people reach their 30 seconds, They often become complacent about their debt. Repaying debt has become a way of life for those with student loans, mortgages, credit card debt, and auto loans. You might even consider debt to be normal. The truth is that you don't have to pay off your debts for the rest of your life. Determine how much debt you have outside of your mortgage and devise a budget to keep you from accumulating more. There are many ways to get out of debt, but the snowball effect is a popular way to keep people motivated. Regardless of the interest rate, list all of your debts from smallest to largest. Except for the smallest debt, make the minimum payment on all of your debts. Throw as much money as you can at the smallest debt each month. The goal is to pay off that small debt in a few months before moving on to the next debt. Paying off your debts will make a big difference in your financial situation. Your budget will have more breathing room, and you'll have more money set aside for savings and other financial goals. One thing to keep in mind: pay off your debts, but don't get in over your head again. When you see low balances on your credit cards, it can be very tempting to think it's okay to start spending again. You'll only end up in the same rut. Maintain self-control and limit your credit card usage. Over time, you might want to consider lowering your credit limits or canceling cards you don't need. Anything that will assist you in staying afloat. 6. Create a substantial emergency fund. An emergency fund is critical to your financial well-being. If you don't have an emergency fund, you'll be more likely to dip into your savings or use credit cards to cover unexpected car repairs and medical expenses. The first step is to accumulate a $1,000 emergency fund. This is the bare minimum you should have in your account. You'll reach your $1,000 emergency fund goal in 10 months if you put $50 from each paycheck into your emergency fund. After that, based on your monthly expenses, set incremental goals for yourself. Some financial advisors recommend having 3 months' worth of living expenses in your emergency fund, while others suggest 6 months. Obviously, how much you can save will be determined by your financial situation. 7. Don't forget about your retirement. Many people in their 30s either haven't put anything aside for their retirement or are only contributing the bare minimum. You must start saving now if you want to build a $1 million nest egg. Stop waiting for a raise or more money in your bank account. You still have time in your 30 seconds, so make the most of it. Make sure you take advantage of any matching contributions offered by your employer. Many employers will match your contributions up to a certain percentage of your salary. This is basically free money for your retirement if you stay with your company long enough to become vested. The sooner you begin, the more interest you will earn. Key takeaways: when you hit your 30s, it's important to remember that you are halfway to retirement. Remember to prepare and stick to a budget and stop spending your entire paycheck. Be aware of and write down all your goals and learn everything you need to know about your student loans. Get your debt under control and start an emergency fund. Even though it's still in the future, make sure you sock away some money for your retirement. Thank you for watching.